went there on Tuesday for a little bit. But the class after you, we really went there. All right? But let me set some ground.